Hey wild ones, I'm Lucy and this is Pussy Powered. In today's video, we're talking about how masturbation or self-pleasure can benefit your relationship. Often, when people think of masturbation or self-pleasure, they think it's something that only single people do, or sex-starved people in a relationship do, or something that those super sexual people have to do just to get a little bit of tension out of their system. And while all of those things may be true, there is such a greater depth to the practice of self-pleasure that can benefit and actually transform your relationship. But before I get into how it can benefit your relationship, first I want to make it very clear that what does not work is using masturbation as a way to get back at your partner, as a way to get revenge, especially if you're the higher desire partner in the relationship and you use it as a way to A, guilt your partner for not being sexual enough for you, or B, as a distraction or a quick sense of relief from having to feel the discomfort of not having the relationship that you really want. So if you are using masturbation for either of those things, that's okay. Look, just notice it. Notice where you're at. Notice your feelings about self-pleasure. Notice any shame or guilt or resentment that's present in that. Often by simply noticing that, you can give yourself permission to experience so much more depth and beauty and power in your self-pleasure. Using self-pleasure itself as a way to release the sexual shame or the guilt that self-pleasuring out of an energy of lack created in the first place. It's a redemption, if you will. So now that that is clear and out there, here are 5 ways masturbation or self-pleasure can benefit your relationship. Number 1, it can increase desire for sex. Now this one is speaking more to the lower desire partner, which for so many years in my marriage of over 15 years now at this time of shooting this video was me. I was the lower desire partner. And the truth is this: pleasure begets more pleasure. Having a space where the lower desire partner can intentionally cultivate their sexual energy and feel in their bodies without the pressure of fixing anything or performing for a partner or showing up in any particular way for their partner. Letting this time of self-pleasure be the sacred space where they can feel through whatever is coming up in their bodies. All of the physical sensations, the numbness, the discomforts, the emotions that are bubbling to the surface without the need to fix anything. Simply to be present with it and learn to come to a place of acceptance of what's happening in their bodies. And I will tell you right now, that has been the number one thing that has shifted our sex life and how I feel about sex, how I feel about pleasure, how I feel about intimacy. And I hear these stories from women all the time that having their self-pleasure practice not only serves as this powerful catalyst in their own healing journey, but also creates a cascading effect of beautiful things in their relationships and their sex lives. Number 2, it can help relieve pressure on your partner. Now this is speaking more to the higher desire partner. Whenever you are relying solely on your partner to be your source and channel of pleasure, first of all, that is an unrealistic expectation to have on any one single person, because at some point they're either going to be giving beyond their capacity and what they truly are capable of giving, or you are going to have to withhold your sexual intensity and prowess or water down your desires so that it's not overpowering to your partner. So when you have a conscious masturbation or self-pleasure practice, you can practice being present with the energy in your body, feeling the intensity, feeling its depth, feeling its too muchness. And instead of just rushing to quickly relieve the pressure through an orgasm, practicing coming to a place of acceptance and even excitement for all this delicious sexual energy that's flowing in your body. And when you do have this space where you can explore your own body and having this space where you can essentially, turn that valve a little bit and release some of that pressure, it can really help that higher desire partner to not show up to sex or to their relationship, to that person, just in an everyday regular encounter with an energy of desperation or despair. Like imagine if you haven't eaten in 3 days. And you keep expecting that your partner is gonna make you this delicious meal, this big feast, and it keeps not happening, so you just don't eat. And by the 3rd day, shit, you're gonna be starving. You're gonna show up to that table just absolutely ravenous, ready to stuff yourself, and you won't be able to even fully savor the meal. Number 3, releasing sexual shame. As I mentioned earlier, Having this space of self-pleasure where you can notice the feelings that are coming up, not only in your physical body, the sensations, but also the emotions that arise as you are pleasuring yourself, can be a powerful catalyst for releasing a lot of that shame and guilt and resentment and the feelings of unworthiness, self-loathing that you maybe have been carrying around. And it's an especially powerful time to notice the stories that you're telling yourself about your pleasure, about your body, about your worthiness, about what you should or shouldn't do. Those more deeply ingrained and internalized beliefs about sexuality and pleasure, which are often so covert and such a normal part of our life experience that we normally wouldn't notice them. But all these opportunities for deeper shadow work will absolutely come up when you have a self-pleasure practice, which is a great thing because that means that you finally get to move through that and release it from your body. Number 4, heightening pleasurable sensitivity. When you have a self-pleasure practice, you also get to explore all these different ways to play with your body, to stimulate your senses, to stimulate different erogenous zones, maybe zones that you didn't even realize were erogenous for you. And it's a space to explore your body in ways that you normally wouldn't with a partner. Personally, it's through my self-pleasure practice that I was able to awaken and activate more pleasurable sensations inside my vagina, and not only that, but throughout my entire body. Because A, I did have a lot of sexual shame to work through, way more than I realized until I got started. And B, I had only ever relied on my husband to figure out what feels good in my body for me, which is, again, a lot of pressure to put on a partner. Also keep in mind that it can take some time for your body to awaken in these new ways. And that's why making self-pleasure a practice is so key in this process. You're not going to start experiencing internal vaginal orgasms after one masturbation session where you're stimulating a particular spot. And you're not going to be able to last longer in bed or have an erection for the length of time that your partner ideally needs you to stay hard for them to experience the pleasure that they want after just one session of stroking your dick a different way. It takes time and patience and practice and a healthy dose of courage and vulnerability to put yourself out there just to yourself. Try different things and be willing to commit to this practice first and foremost for yourself. Number 5, adding variety to sex. As you continue on this journey of intimacy and erotic exploration, you will sooner or later come to realize that sex can be so much bigger and so much richer and so much more varied than item A inserting into item B until reaching orgasm as quickly as possible. And self-pleasure itself can be a really fun addition to partnered sex. For one, masturbating in front of your partner can be a really liberating and healing personal experience, shedding again more of that sexual trauma and those internalized beliefs about your pleasure, your body, your sexuality with your partner's presence. 2, assisted masturbation can be super fun and erotic and exciting and spicy for you to do with your partner, especially since you get to use more of your creativity. For example, one partner can be masturbating while the other one is whispering their fantasy into their ear and also stroking some other parts of their body or hovering over them in a 69 position. And as a third way, mutual masturbation. Maybe you start out with partner A self-pleasuring and partner B, telling them all these filthy, naughty, super hot things in their ear and go into a 69 position and then begin pleasuring themselves over the first partner's face or lying down next to them in the bed and going full out pleasuring themselves. Just if you are engaging in mutual masturbation, try not to get in your head about who's gonna come first, who's gonna come faster, unless that is your kink and it gets you erotically charged or helps you get off. All in all, there are so many amazing benefits to masturbating even when you are in a healthy, loving relationship. And self-pleasuring can be a powerful, beautiful healing tool that you can use in a relationship that is not in a beautiful, connected space, but is on the rocks or struggling. And having this practice can help bring back your sense of connectedness to yourself, your aliveness as a human being, your connection with your life force energy, which will absolutely shift the way you show up in your life, period. So if this is something you want to explore in a way that will create more connection and intimacy with your partner, I encourage you to open up that conversation with them, or maybe show them this video and let the dialogue unfold from there. All right, wild ones, that's it for today. 5 ways that masturbation or self-pleasure can benefit your relationship. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with some friends, and subscribe for more on sexual healing and empowerment for women and people with vulvas. And to go deeper into your self-pleasure experience with guided practices and exercises, check out my course, Come As You Are. The link will be in the description below. And for those of you in relationships who want to create more connection, sexual excitability, aliveness, arousal, passion, I invite you to learn more about my intimacy course for couples, Come Together, also in the description below. In the meantime, here's to your awakening and your pleasure for a pussy-powered life.